Hi everybody. In today's video, I shall discuss about learning and pedagogy. So before switching over to the gender part, I shall discuss about the learning a little and what pedagogy means. Thereafter, I shall touch upon the gender. So let us begin. Now coming to the learning part, we should understand that it is a process by which the learner attempts to bring about some modification in the behavior. Clear? So learning is purposeful, learning is goal directed, learning can take place through experience. Now coming to the pedagogy part, it refers to the teaching process, what method or what strategy has been adopted to deal with the learner. Okay, to deal with the learner. Now we see that in a classroom situation, a teacher adopts certain methods in order to shape the action, judgment and the learning ability of the pupil. Clear? It is the strategy adopted by the teacher to deal with the learner, and it should be based on the learner's interests, needs and ability. So as a whole, the learner's background needs to be taken into consideration while deciding about or deciding on the strategy that the teacher intends to adopt. So the main purpose of adopting the strategy is to maximize learning among the learners. Clear? So which are the strategies that would best suit the learner, and accordingly it needs to be adopted. In case of pedagogy, we see that the teaching styles and the teaching theories needs to be taken into account. Is that clear? Switching over to the next is, who is regarded as the father of pedagogy? Well, John Friedrich Herbert is regarded as the father of pedagogy. Now, in terms of the academic discipline, he has suggested 5 crucial steps, as you can see here. The 5 crucial steps. So the first, it can be preparation. Okay. Now while talking about pedagogy, as we know, it is implying the strategy that a teacher needs to adopt. So this strategy implies the preparation part. It stresses that it is a process of relating new material, to be learned, to relevant past ideas or memories in order to give the pupil a vital interest in the topic under consideration. This implies that while before giving a new learning idea, the past needs to be considered. Clear? So information relating to the past ideas or memories needs to be gathered in order to help the learner with the present idea or to give new idea. So it is in a way to prepare the child, to arouse him, to help him understand the topic or to gain an interest in it. Clear? Now next is the presentation part. So presentation, it implies presenting new material by means of concrete object or actual experience. So this is another way of teaching, that is by presenting the idea, by showing it or by letting the pupil experience it, so that while seeing it, while participating it, they will understand it better. Clear? Okay, then the next comes the association part. So in association, how is it been expressed? Through assimilation of the new idea, through comparison with former ideas, and consideration of the new similarities and differences in order to implant the new idea in the mind. So the word association, when I say association, it is very much clear, isn't it so? So you are trying to associate the new with that of what you already have, and you try to find out the similarities and dissimilarities, and thereby gather or form a new idea, form a different idea. Okay, so that is the association way of dealing with the learner. Now switching to the generalization part, it is a procedure especially important for instruction of adolescent and designed to develop the mind beyond the level of perception and the concrete. That means it is implying, it is stressing on generalizing the whole idea. So this is according to him, it says that it is more suitable for the adolescent learner. Clear? Wherein they will be able to have a clear perception. Okay, it is much beyond. Okay, it is much beyond than having a mere perception and a concrete idea. So having those kind of idea, they will be able to think much more beyond that. Clear? So this is in case of adolescents. This is as per Herbert. Now coming to the application part, it means using acquired knowledge not in a purely utilitarian way, but so that every learner, every learnt idea becomes a part of the functional mind and an aid to a clear, vital interpretation of life. This step is presumed possible only if the student immediately applies the new idea, making it their own. Now, in this case, it implies application. Okay, it implies application. What does this mean? Means applying, and this would be possible if only the learner has a clear idea about what is it all about. It is only then the learner will be able to utilize it, okay, make use of the idea in something new, okay, or maybe like something that he wishes to do it. And according to him, he states that this would be possible only when he makes use of the learned idea or the informed idea immediately after acquiring. Clear? So let's switch to the next part. Now, in terms of pedagogical analysis or the approaches, we find that there are 4 basic approaches, but howsoever this part is not very concerned. Okay, just try to know a little bit. Now, behaviorism. Now, this behaviorism, it implies that the teacher has the sole responsibility to mold the learner. Okay, and that would be possible only by only through his performance, like giving a lecture. Okay, showing the model or demonstrating something. It is the role of the teacher, wherein the teacher can mold the behavior of the learner. Clear? Now, in case of constructivism, now this constructivism is something very important. Okay, it is very important. Like it is through experience. Learning means construction, the term itself. Okay, now the learner learns through experiences, and through experience what happened, they are able to reflect, they are able to understand it, they are able to feel it. So a better reflection is gathered through participation, through experience. Clear? So that is about constructivism. So in this constructivism, the approaches such as the teacher can incorporate project work, inquiry-based learning, and Montessori method of teaching. Okay, so this can be incorporated. Now coming to the social constructivism, here it considers that both the teacher and the student has a role to play. Learning can take place when both are engaged in one way or the other. Thus, it suggests that group work can be encouraged. Okay. Now, but again, like when we talk about the group work, it should be considered that the group size is not very large. It should be small and with limited choice of topic. Okay. It should not be vast, otherwise they will not be able to work upon it. So modeling, questioning, mixing of individual, pair and whole class instruction, it can be carried out in this case. Okay. Okay, so we see that both the teacher and the student has the central role to play. Now coming to the fourth approach, that is that is liberationist. Okay, liberationist. In this case, we feel that the child, the learner, has a prominent role to play. Here, the voice of the learner is the central figure. Okay. However, this approach is not very much into now. Constructivism is something very important. Okay, this approach is presently being considered as a very important and needed approach in the teaching learning process. Clear? So let's switch over. Now, as I said, constructivism, okay, we are stressing on this part only. Now, it is Piaget who has developed this, okay, Piaget's cognitive development theory. Now, this, just try to understand, obviously, like, I'm not going to deal so elaborately because it is not much important for you all for this particular portion, but I feel it is important for you all to know. Therefore, I have jotted down here. Clear? Now, the word schema seems to be very prominent in his cognitive development theory. Now, let us firstly understand what this schema implies. Now, I hope this is clear. It is visible to you. If not, I will enlarge it. Okay. Now, just look very carefully. Schema is an established activity organized to gather and interpret information. About what? About object in the world. It involves both the mental and physical actions involved in understanding and working. Now, listen to me. Now, when we talk about schema, what Piaget tried to say is that Piaget tried to say is that he tried to emphasize that it is an established activity, okay, wherein the learner tries to gather some information and thereby interpret it. Okay, so it is a process wherein both the mental and the physical part of the individual is being involved to gather an understanding and to know that particular thing. Okay, like take for example, like you have visited a forest. So you visiting the forest, you try to get an understanding. How does a mango tree looks like? How does the orange tree looks like? So if you are forming an understanding, then that is being pictured, you have scanned it in your memory. Okay, you have scanned it that the mango tree looks like this, and orange tree looks like that. Okay, so this is what it is. Cognitive development has taken place. You have understood it, you have grasped it. Okay, and you will be able to interpret it, or you will be able to identify it next time when you see an orange tree or a mango tree. Clear? So this is about schema. Okay, so you have gathered an idea about certain thing, having understood or taken the information. Now Piaget tried to emphasize that the importance of schema in cognitive development and described how they were developed or acquired. He viewed that schema includes both category of knowledge and the process of obtaining the knowledge. Okay, now according to Piaget, he says that schema has an important role, or it's very dominant in the cognitive development of the individual. It helps the individual to know and understand what the particular object is, what does it imply, how does it look like. So it is through the process of interaction or the learner's involvement in that particular thing. How the person viewed or has scanned it in the memory. So that particular thing has already stored in the learner's memory. So learner will understand next time when he or she sees it. Okay. So in this part, he listed out assimilation, accommodation, and equilibrium. Now, in assimilation, what happens is that according to Piaget, he says that it is like taking in the information as it has been provided, exactly as it has been provided. Okay, that is gathering the exact information and vomiting the exact information when the need arises. Now take for example, supposing a child sees mother drinking and ask mother, what are you drinking? Then mother says that it is black coffee. Okay, it is black coffee. Now the child understands it is black coffee. Clear? So next time when the child sees something, something like that, then the child will relate to what was told or informed to that particular child. So the child will immediately state it as it is black coffee, right? Clear? So that is what. Next time the mother says that okay, you can just have a sip and see it is black coffee. So again the child takes a sip and the child understands that it is black coffee. Okay. So the concept has been formed in the mind. So that is nothing. It is assimilation. It is like taking in the information and vomiting it exactly as it has been provided. Now coming to the accommodation part, it is like when next time in some other situation or environment, the child sees that most of the people are drinking something that the child has already seen at home, drinking by mother. So in this case what happens is that the child maybe the child says that oh, you're drinking coffee, black coffee, because it looks like what the child has seen earlier. So then maybe the people says is no, it is not black coffee, it is black, it is red tea. Okay, it is red tea. It is not black coffee, it is red tea. So the learner gets an idea that, oh, that means this particular thing, even if it looks alike, it is different. So the child may have a taste, and the taste may differ. So in this way, the child has accommodated. Okay, now that is accommodation. It is like changing or altering their existing schema with that of what newly the child has gathered, the new information that the child has gathered. Okay, so that is accommodation. So next time that when the child sees same thing like that, the child will think it might be either coffee, or it might either be a red tea, a black coffee or a red tea. So that is accommodation. And gradually, when the child is being informed that now when we say tea, there can be different type of tea. Okay, green tea, ginger tea, or whatever, tulsi tea. So in this way, the herbal tea, whatever it is available, so that is nothing. It is accommodation. Okay, it is accommodation. Got it? I hope it is clear. So I repeat, assimilation is vomiting exactly as it has been informed. Like take for example, if the child sees an animal with 4 legs and asks what is that? Okay, then somebody says that it is a cow. So next time when that is assimilation. Okay, so whenever the child sees something like that, the child will say it is a cow. Then again, when the child comes across some more animals, and it relates to what was informed, and says that it is a cow, but the person says no, this is not a cow, it is a buffalo, then again it is accommodation. Okay, it is accommodation. Then again, when the child is being told that there can be different colors of a cow or like that, so that's accommodation. Now coming to the equilibrium part. Okay, now this part, when we talk about equilibration, we mean that it is bringing about a balance between assimilation and accommodation. Okay, that means we are balancing it, we are making an equilibrium. Okay, like it is balancing. Like sometimes we make use of our past knowledge, and also we are trying to accommodate something new that we have seen or understood, and accommodating it. So that is assimilation and accommodation. So that's balancing. I hope it is clear. Okay, so as it is now, why this pedagogy is important? Why do you think it is important? It is important because a planned teaching procedure or strategy will help improve the quality of teaching, and accordingly the learner will be able to understand it. Okay, they will have a deeper insight into the topic. Okay, they will be able to understand it, they will understand the underlying meaning, they will be able to think logically, higher level thinking will be developed. Inclusive attention to the respective gender can be aroused. Okay, like take for example, it is seen that a girl child are more good in linguistic part, whereas boys are better in the mathematical part. So that way, attention can also be given. So if a teacher develops the skill of teaching, develops the techniques, strategies, the teacher can understand that which strategy is best suited for the genders, for both the genders. So accordingly, learning can be planned out. Clear? So it is clear that pedagogy is very important part of teaching and learning. Now, there are certain key points that we have to take into account. Let's see. Now, the first here, like it has been pointed out as the boys and the girls. Now, talking in terms of the gender, the boys and the girls had always been treated and trained differently since their childhood. Okay, so we see that since the child has been born, we treat that the girl will behave, or a certain behavior is expected on the part of the girls and certain behavior are expected on the part of the boy. In this way, this sort of differential treatment has existed since the birth of the child. Okay, be it playing a toy or be it eating. Even in terms of eating, most of the parents, they feel that the boys will eat more than that of the girl. Why is that so? Then again, in terms of teaching, we see that right from the pre-nursery onwards, we see that some differential treatment are there. Like, take for example, the boys will play cricket, whereas the girls will play Ludo or some indoor games. So this is the way. And again, even the teaching procedure, like some activities and all, it has been differentiated. Now, the treatment used to be different in terms of their learning and meeting up their needs and requirements. Even in case of meeting the needs and requirements, we find that the treatment are not equalized. Okay, then the activities and work assigned to the genders used to be different again. Okay, the learning pattern and styles differs. Like girls like to read alone. Boys are more socialized. They like to be involved with a group and learn. Girls, they are sincere with their studies. They keep on studying. But boys, they tend to study just before examination and all. It is not generalized view but opinion, but it is seen. Now, the participation and the responses also differs. The child may not be, the girl child may not be very comfortable to respond in a co-ed classes. Okay, they will hesitate because boys are there. Why this? Because the child has come up from a family where the girl are not being treated well. So, having been involved in a co-ed institution, again the girl doesn't get that much exposure, or is not that much free to explain or express or share their views. Then even they are not being able to participate because it's a co-ed institution. Many factors comes. Okay, then again the urge and inquisitiveness of a girl child to know more remains unattended. It is regarded as not important. Sometimes we feel that this is also there, especially in the rural part. Okay, we see that the girls' inquisitiveness, if a girl has wishes to know more about something and all, it is not being regarded as much important as that of the boy. So we see that the assignment part, be it in the teaching process, there used to be differences among the boy and the girl. Clear? So as a whole, we need to understand that inclusive setting, okay, needs to be created wherein both the girls and the boys are treated equally, right? So in this way, we see that gender difference has really created a big issue. It has really created a big issue in a person's life. Okay, now even the future of the girls remains undecided. It is the parents or the relative will be planning the future of the girl. So the girl child doesn't have that much independency in deciding what they want to become. But that doesn't happen with the boys. Now, even in case of sitting arrangement, Okay, and assignment given, like it is seen that the boys and the girls are segregated, they are being seated separately, they are not allowed to mix. So even the activities, we see that the boys are not allowed to mingle up with the girls, or girls mingle up with the boys. So assignments, group assignments are given or provided separately. Then the girls are expected to listen and do things, whereas the boys has the right to put up the questions and take decision. Now most of the time in the classroom situation, we find that the girls are not encouraged to raise their voices. Okay, they are a passive listener. They are passive listeners, whereas the boys has the right to raise questions or be involved in some activities. They are made to take decisions, they are allowed to take decisions. Okay, so in this case also we find that differential approach is being provided. Okay, now coming to the next is the likes and dislikes of the girls are not taken into account. So you see that in most of the cases, when we talk about a person's individuality, everybody has certain likes and dislikes. But in terms of girls, most of the time we see that they are not allowed to speak out. They are made to feel and realize that whatever is being given to them, it is best for them, and they have to accept it happily. So they are not to make any judgment. They are not supposed to give any opinion regarding that particular issue or thing. So in this way, their likes and dislikes remain concealed. Okay. The next is the girl child whose intelligence, especially if the child belongs to a poor family, it becomes very difficult to prove themselves. It is very true. Okay, now especially you see, like in the poorer section, what happens, it becomes very challenging for them to come up, to raise their voice. Even if they might be intelligent, they might be creative, when it comes to a girl child, it remains hidden. All right, it remains hidden. They're not allowed to take a chance or to try out something. There is always a fear factor entering. Okay, so they don't get enough scope to do something new or venture something new. Then again, male gender had always been given high status since the evolution of mankind. This I have already explained. So we see that men are always a man, and a lady is always a lady. Whatever the job profile be, lady will always be a lady, a man will always be a man. Clear? So this gender biasness should be avoided. Okay, should be done away. Now again, when we talk about the home influence or the institutional influence, many studies, the case study or research studies, it has been seen that problem arises, gender biasness is very prominent. Okay, so it is it is we as human, the institutional role, the role of the family, to consider the fact and allow both the gender to have equal rights and responsibilities. It is only then the confidence level, the emotional level, the attitude and the moral values can be increased. They are the ones who can develop and minimize or reduce that attitude that female will never be as poor as man. Clear? So everybody has a great role to play to do away or to overcome this. Okay, so that's it for now. Like I hope it is clear. As of today we have just talked about learning and pedagogy, and we understood that it is the approaches approaches of the teacher in the institution, or when we talk about the approaches of parents towards the child at home, or the society at large, plays an important role in building up the personality of the child. Okay, so we need to put on our collaborative effort to allow them to grow. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Wish you all a great success in life. Thank you.